Hey guys, so I want to talk about what to expect during your cancer treatment, or more to talk about the cancer treatment itself, such as chemotherapy. But there's like a few different things in terms of treatment. Obviously, my main experience is chemotherapy, so I want to talk about that. But I also want to open the subject of the different types of treatments that there are available. So for cancer, there's three primary treatments. So you've got surgery, you got chemotherapy, and there's the radiation. And which one you need depends on the stage and the type of cancer that you have. So I have a friend who was at stage one. And with stage one, normally it's just surgery, removal of the testicle, the affected area, and then that is it. Let me just go through some notes. Uh, yeah. So the goal is to get rid of the tumor to prevent cancer from spreading, and that is the removal of the testicle. It's a straightforward procedure, but the emotional impact can be significant, especially for men who tie their masculinity to their physical body. So the idea of having a testicle removed, leaves your testicles not looking symmetrical. So the aesthetic appeal of your nutsack isn't going to look the same. However, from what I understand, and I might have put in a previous video, um, you can be given a synthetic ball bag to replace what they have taken out. So, um, yeah, that should be fine. I don't know if you need to pay more or pay for that, or if that's just, part of the package. There's radiation, which is often used for certain types of testicular cancer, targeting any remaining cancer cells after surgery. Chemotherapy, which was part of my journey, is designed to kill cancer cells that may have spread to other parts of the body. So that's what happens to me. Started off in my testicles and spread to my abdomen. So yeah, to start the chemotherapy. My my the stage of mine was stage two. If I caught it in stage one, removal. Stage two, chemotherapy. And potentially removal afterwards. I'll only find out at the very end. So chemotherapy is a powerful treatment that uses drugs to destroy rapidly dividing cancer cells. The problem is it doesn't discriminate. It also affects healthy cells, like those in your hair, your stomach, and your immune system. And that's why the side effects can be so intense. My experience with chemo so far, um, hasn't been pretty. I think my first experience was in the hospital when I had two emergency chemos. Mm. And then because I was in a hospital bed, you tend to remain in the bed and not so mobile. You're given medication, then you go back to your bed, you sit down, and as you're in your bed, you might just end up falling asleep. When I was given chemo, just before that moment, or before that time, I was suffering intense lower back pain, but it was coming from the kidney area because of the mass in my stomach pushing on my abdominal, all my internal organs and affecting my kidneys. It was causing pain during the night. I was getting, I was having paracetamols, but I was also having a oral morphine, and it got to the point where it was so intense that paracetamol and oral morphine just wasn't working. It's just like was not working. And then they gave me like an injection of morphine, and then that was it. Pain went, and then I was able to sleep. But I think that's when the cascade of issues started to occur. Because after that moment, I I believe I slept through one of my meal times. And then after I slept through one of my meal times, kind of lost my appetite for the other meal somehow. Then after I was given the chemo, and to be honest, with nurses, they'll just offer you food, but they don't really try to enforce it. It's like if you don't eat it, you don't eat it. Are you hungry? No? Okay. They're not enforcing it. Even if you haven't eaten for hours. In my case, it started off with hours or a few meals to then become days. And they don't there's no I don't know, there's no enforcement. I guess they can't, but it's like there's no pressure to eat. And I think the moment I had chemo, I just lost appetite and I just didn't want to eat anything. I also felt, I mean, just gonna move my bottle of water. I also felt disorientated and tired. All I wanted to do was sleep. Just wanted to sleep. And when I wanted to go toilet, in fact, they offered us these little bowls that we could urinate in. And I was like, well, if I don't need to go to the toilet and I could just lay here and urinate in this bowl, then I'll just lay here. So I just laid there, urinated in a bowl, put it on the table, and then they would just change it. They'll give me water to drink, so I'll drink, remain laying there. I just felt so lazy. I felt like I couldn't do anything. My head was just wavy, wavy, wavy. And I was taking all different types of drugs as well. I was taking this type of steroid stuff. I can't remember the name of it. Wish I could find notes on the drugs that I was taking. No, just trying to look down lots of stuff, but yeah, I had like anti-sickness drugs. Oh, okay, so I found a list. Um, allopurinol, allo, allopurinol, which was to lower uric acid levels. Uh, olanzapine, which apparently was supposed to help with mood and also um, be like an anti-sickness. There was another type of anti-sickness, which don't know, can't remember the name of it. But I was also taking, because I was taking morphine, morphine actually causes, can cause constipation. So I was having trouble going toilet. And so they were prescribing me a laxative called Mocrogol, yeah, Mocrogol, and that wasn't really working. So they were giving me another type of laxative to have in the evening, um, called Senode. Senode? I don't know if I might not have spelled that correctly. Senode. So I was taking those tablets in the evening, and I was having some other type of tablets, Macrogol, during the day, and also um, enoxaparin injections, blood thinner injections in the evening. So I was just taking all this stuff without eating it. I felt like a person who's like in rehab, you know, a person um a drug addict who's there in the hospital to to be seen, to be taken care of, because all I was doing was just taking drugs, and I was just laying in bed, zombified, tired. Anytime nurses came through and they were like, "Yeah, we're just here to check your blood pressure," I'd be like, "Okay." And I'll just give them my arm, they'll check my blood pressure, my eyes will be closed, and then once they're done, I'll just like roll back in bed. And then same with those that were taking my blood. Yeah, we need a blood test. Uh, and then, check to see if there's any veins available. You know, when you're training consecutively, like you got like lots of veins, you're vascular and everything. But when you stop training for a long time, I don't know, the veins slowly start to disappear. So they're searching. And I'm like, I'm a veiny person, but so yeah, they had to strap something on my arm to try and, create that thing. A bit of a vascular thingamajig. And it's just wild. So wild. I felt it's the worst I'd felt. So I went from intense pain where I couldn't sleep, like I was up for like 12 hours. And then when they said, okay, when we give you this emergency chemo, this will affect the mass in your stomach immediately, and it will start to shrink. It will start to kill it straight away. So we are hoping that when you take this, the pain should start to go away because it will, work on shrinking the mass, the tumor. And it was true. It did shrink the tumor and the pain did go. However, the disorientation that followed, I have no idea what to compare to what is worse. I mean, the pain was intense and it was horrible. But then I felt so spaced out, I didn't even feel myself anymore. I had doctors come in asking me questions, how you feeling? And I was just transparent. I feel like shit. I, I don't even I don't even feel like myself. I don't know. I don't want to do anything. That was how my voice was. I was just like, wow, absolute no bass, no power in my voice. And I was like, what on earth is going on? Like, how long am I gonna be like this? You know? I didn't know that having chemo would have me feel like that. And when I had my official, so that was the emergency chemo. Once they had put a course together for me, they were like, okay, so a you've got a course for uh for your official course, like I mean, like a 9-week course, which you'll be doing. You're gonna do it in this week and that week, and these weeks you'll be coming in for blood tests and stuff like that. And once they had that together, and I had my first from that course, um, I again felt a bit disorientated, but not as crazy, I don't think. But I think the problem I had was there was kind of like a sort of reaction because I had a blood clot in my body, And I think that there was some sort of reaction from the chemo and the blood clot because slowly after that, I started to develop a huge swelling in my legs. It got progressively worse day after day after day. Now, I wouldn't say that that's necessarily going to happen with everyone. Most likely not, to be fair. Mine's a bit of a unique situation. So, um, chemo would probably render you just feeling a bit tired. Some people more tired than others. For me, not the greatest feeling. I did vomit a few times. Yeah, you have to take your anti-sickness tablets. If you don't, you will vomit. You may lose appetite. I developed this hatred for smells. I think everything started to smell really bad. When I was in the hospital and anybody would be drawing the curtain to come by my bed, I could smell their perfume, colognes, um, aftershaves, any creams, hairsprays. I could smell it all, and it made me feel sick. All like I was like, everybody stinks. Like I was, yeah, hating the smell of everyone. Um, that lasts maybe for a few days. It's quite intense. You may lose appetite. I lost a little bit of appetite, but my appetite, it was like, it wasn't like my appetite necessarily went, but I started to become very particular with the foods that I wanted to eat. Um, I generally don't have a type of food. I'm like, food, fuel, just eat. But after this, I was like, don't want that, don't want that, don't want that, don't want that. And I was just having trouble eating anything. So that might happen to you, that might not. Um, okay, so a couple of tips from to get through chemotherapy. One of them is hydration. So you need to be drinking a lot. You need to drink a lot, especially after you've just had the treatment. You need to drink a lot um to detoxify the body. So drink, 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 at least within the first, 24 hours of having the treatment, you want to drink a lot of water, detoxify the body, and just flush out any kind of toxins. And then ongoing from there, you still want to remain hydrated. Make sure that you got some electrolytes as well. Because I don't know, like when I was in the hospital, my urine just turned almost orange, like crazy. It was orange, not even yellow or dark yellow. I was like, oh my gosh, this does not look healthy at all. The moment I left the hospital, it was still kind of orange, but then I don't know. It was like being in my own environment, able to eat my own food, just felt happier, just generally happier. It's like my body just responded like, "Oh, you are happy. You are now in your own domain." I just felt good. When you're not around sick people, you can hear someone coughing and choking in another ward. One person who soils his underwear, and the place smells of you know, sewerage, someone, because of defecation. Um, yeah, and you feel stronger in your own environment. So another thing is yeah, eat what you can because you might have a particular taste for certain foods, and if you do, that's okay. You're not going to want to eat everything. You might not want to eat that much, but what you do want to eat, just eat. Try to have at least something. If you find it easier to have fruit, then have some fruit. Vegetables, if you prefer vegetables, have some vegetables. At one stage for me, I was like, I don't even want protein. I didn't want anything heavy like chicken, steak, um, maybe fish, maybe only a little. but I was just like not feeling it. I just wanted like vegan type foods. That's what I was kind of craving. So if that's what works for you, then that's what works for you. Just find what works. Um, be prepared that you're going to feel fatigued. You're gonna feel tired, and that's okay. So if you're used to doing a lot of stuff, write those plans off and just chill, just relax, take it easy. And everyone around you will understand and hopefully will support you during this time. Because you might be the like a person who does so many things. But yeah, just know that this is a time when your body is gonna say nope, nope, no, and just listen to it, relax. Um, you're gonna also have a medical team, an oncology team who are there for you for your needs. So if something isn't feeling right, then you can just give them a call. You normally got like a 24-hour hotline or like an email address if you just want to send some general inquiries, and they are super quick, super quick. They'll respond to you like super quick. That's their job to make sure that your general health is good and any concerns you have, they get on top of it. I've never had treatment like this before. To be honest, I've never been in a hospital before. But the amount of care I've had has been it's been incredible. So like I truly appreciate it. Um, yeah, so looking back, chemo has been one of the hardest things I've done, but it's also a reminder of how resilient we are. I mean, it's been painful, and I'm still not finished yet. I've got another chemo treatment that I'm going to have in a couple of days, and I know that I'm just gonna be in bed. There's so many things that I want to do, admin things, but I'm not going to be able to do those things because mentally my brain's not going to be functioning, working that way. And I have to be prepared for it. So I have to be prepared to do nothing. And that's cool. I'm ready for it. But yeah, that's it. That's all I wanted to say about that. So if you found this useful about the chemotherapy and treatment, then leave a comment. And if you've got any questions, leave them down below. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Thank you very much.